So I've often ignored or really never talked about Ripple as a currency, as a cryptocurrency, really at all on this channel. I've largely ignored it because, frankly, I don't want to involve myself with projects or coins that have a lot of vitriol behind them. If when researching a project, all you can find is people yelling at each other, either saying that it's going to be the next paradigm or it's an outright scam, it doesn't make you very confident as a fundamental investor. And I think no coin represents that more than Ripple. Since the beginning, Ripple has been criticized for being centralized. It's been criticized for being the anti-cryptocurrency. It's been criticized for the practices of Ripple Labs. It's been criticized for the aggressiveness of its community. It's been criticized for basically sucking up to banks and being an on-ramp for them. It's been criticized for being possibly security. But through all of this, I think it's a testament to its nature that it's still around. And look, I'm no fan of Ripple. I'm an investor who looks for fundamentals and whether or not it's a good investment. And so today I want to do what I've put off for a very long time and take a quick look at Ripple and see what's going on here. Is there a legitimacy here, or is it hot air? Is XRP a good investment, or is it just another one of these vapid projects that has nothing to offer? And I want to make it clear, I'm not an investor in Ripple, and I have no ulterior motive to make this video other than the fact that this has been a topic that has been a curiosity to me for a long time. So with that, let's talk about Ripple. Welcome to Ready Set Crypto. This is your brain on blockchain. So again, Ripple is a project that has been marred by controversy. On one hand, supporters point out that the aim of the company is to improve cross-border transfers through distributed ledger technology. I mean, if you look at this from a purely economic perspective, cross-border remittance is a $155 trillion problem. Ripple claims that their product will have an effect on commerce and finance, and thus a positive impact on the world economy. But on the other hand, detractors claim that Ripple's product offering is complex, it's token unnecessary, and the concept is far from decentralized. So let's look at each of these. First, Ripple wants to improve cross-border transfers, otherwise known as remittance. I mean, few can claim that the current system is fair or looks out for the little guy because the system is inefficient and wasteful. In order for a bank to make cross-border payments, they need to have accounts with banks in the destination country. So Ripple believes that having funds for payment that are more liquid and move faster using their proprietary technology can really shake up this system. So let's look at four of their major products: Xcurrent, XVIA, XRapid, and the cryptocurrency token XRP. So Xcurrent is solving that issue of remittance by settling cross-border payments. It's going to be used by banks and other financial institutions. It uses a messaging protocol that extracts the information necessary to arrange payment, which it then communicates to the banks involved. There's over 100 financial institutions signed up to use Xcurrent. Next, I want to talk about XRapid. So payments in less liquid combinations are more likely to use XRapid, which relies on Ripple's token XRP to facilitate liquidity. It does this by moving the originating funds into XRP and then from there into the beneficiary funds. This allows the originating bank to avoid the need to have funds parked in an account in the corresponding bank. I think this is the area we've seen the most growth over the past couple months, as Ripple seems to be on a conveyor belt of signing up new companies to use XRapid. So meanwhile, XVIA is the user interface designed to make Xcurrent and XRapid easier to use. You also have API integration so you can connect financial institutions to Ripple's products. Finally, we want to talk about Ripple's token XRP. Now, the first thing to note is that the token does not have miners. All 100 billion tokens were issued to Ripple in 2015. Now, the company kept the majority of XRP, 60 billion, and the rest is being traded on the market. The company later pledged to lock away 55 billion XRP in an escrow that's secured cryptographically. It could only release a maximum of 1 billion XRP a month if it required money to finance projects. However, that's not been the case, as the most it's ever sold is 300 million XRP a month. Now, the big concern is that if the company could dump all of its coins, it would dilute the price of XRP greatly. However, this is unlikely, as Ripple would be the biggest loser if the XRP market collapsed. So another term we might come across is RippleNet, which does not refer to a specific product, but rather the network of financial institutions using Ripple products. In other words, it includes XRapid, XCurrent, and all the banks using them. Now, this is where I hear the comments that XRP is nothing, it's stock. It's really nothing outside of being stock. And stock, as we know, is a security. Ripple's true project is RippleNet, and very few actually see XRP as anything other than an investment in Ripple. Now, the criticism here is that XRP is basically XRapid, and very few companies are testing it. Instead, the real focus is on XCurrent, which is not a blockchain, neither private nor public, nor is it a public ledger system. Even if XRapid became widespread in its usage, what gives it trust? With Bitcoin, it's mathematics mixed with consensus that anyone can verify. With XRP and XRapid, this is not the case. Its mathematical proofing cannot be truly verified because the mathematical verification are private only. There's no way to verify if these proofs are real. They could easily just falsify ledger information as banks do, and no one would be any wiser. So to respond to this, I would say that of the top 100 projects, there's about 35 that actually have a working product, and maybe 5 of them have an active network. So I don't think it's fair to paint Ripple in this light because there isn't usage across the board for cryptocurrencies and their tokens. And then there's obviously the comment about XRP being a security. So what defines a security? Well, it's really easy. You look at the Howey test. Are you investing in something? Yes, you are investing in XRP or Ripple Labs. Is there a common enterprise? Yes, this token is easily accessible. Is there a profit incentive? I would say yes, 99% of people using XRP or investing in XRP are doing so under the pretenses of seeing a return on their investment. Saying that you want to see XRP overtake Bitcoin while also saying that there's no profit incentive behind XRP is not a mutually exclusive statement. And finally, is there a profit motive based on the work of others? I would say absolutely. Ripple is trying to get people to use their token. The whole point of using the token, the whole point of scarcity of the token, is that over time, the value of the token will go up as more people use it and as more people find it desirable. And so this is where people fire back and say, no, if Ripple Labs disappeared tomorrow, XRP would continue to be used as a currency or payment token and remittance solution. And I think that's a really naive perception, or it's predicated on some sort of ulterior motive of not wanting XRP to be listed as a security. With Bitcoin and Ethereum, those are truly decentralized projects. No one person owns Bitcoin, no one person owns Ethereum. But with Ripple, you can't make the argument that the XRP token has value because more banks are going to use XRapid and XCurrent. At the same time, holding the opinion that no, it's not a security because Ripple Labs could disappear and it would still continue on. You can't have it both ways. But this is just my perception of what XRP is versus the Howey test. I know there's some gray area here, and I think Coinbase recently looking at XRP as possibly listing them, that's a really good sign for them because historically they haven't looked to list projects that could potentially be considered securities. Now, granted, once they got their broker-dealer license, that kind of went away very quickly, but regardless, I think Ripple will continue to do fine even if it's ruled as a security. I don't think that's likely to happen anytime soon. And in the meantime, it is good to see that XRP is being used for things like XRapid. That definitely helps their case. I think regardless of what happens with their status as a security, Ripple is going to continue to be aggressively adopted and find partnerships. With that, as more banks go live and start using XRapid and XCurrent, XRP prices will definitely soar higher. Whether or not it can overtake Bitcoin is a completely different conversation, but certainly I think there's validity to the argument that they could potentially overtake Bitcoin. Whether or not it will happen in the next year is probably not very likely, but we'll see. I think this conversation starts to get very interesting once we consider what will happen if something like an XRP ETF comes to light. I mean, Bitcoin has been stalling recently and the Lightning Network is going to take some time to roll out. No, it's not exactly what I like to see. I'm not exactly a Bitcoin maximalist, but I do think that Bitcoin has a very long-term perspective and a long-term potential. But certainly in the short term, I think XRP is gaining ground. But that could certainly change as the market changes. So for today, I think it's just a very interesting thought experiment, and there's not much we can do to anticipate the future. But I do think these conversations are worth having and discussing. I've tried to paint this video as neutral as I can, but I know that Ripple is sort of this very hot topic and gets people fired up, and inevitably I'm gonna receive flack for this video, I know it, but I've wanted to make this video for some time because I don't want to blindly shill any project, but I also don't want to ignore stuff based on these preconceived notions. And researching this video, I learned a lot about Ripple that kind of changed my perspective. And again, it's still not my favorite project by far, but I can see the value of it, and I can see that potentially it's a good investment. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, whether or not you consider Ripple to be something worthwhile, or if you're not convinced and you think that it deserves to die in a fire. If nothing else, I can't wait to see what the comments look like for this one. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.